Hi Alex here, back in the shed. I actually have some stuff here for sale. This video isn't going to be easy because I don't really want to sell this stuff. But I'm going to make this video because I think it's easier for me to make a video explaining and showing what I have up for sale rather than typing it all out and putting in the classifieds. So in the description box below you'll find the actual saber and the price, and maybe a link to exactly where that saber is located in this video, like a quick link. So up first is the this is a Starkiller V2 from 2018. This is the FXable one. Starkiller came out with this one for FX in mind. There's some tape there on there to hold it from wobbling. But this is the 2018 run. It's FXable. Goth 3D Designs has a chassis for it. This is the V2 that the emitter spins. It's got a steel cup inside there to hold the blade. The saber has some dings and dents and chips in it already. I didn't put those in there. I think this is just from traveling. And to me, it didn't bother me because I was going to turn this into a V2 for myself. So it just adds more character. But all in the ring sections, there's some chips and some dings. Realistically, if you hit it with sandpaper, you're going to get rid of it. But I wouldn't do that. I'd let the acid get in there and make those chips and dings pop. It comes with all the screws, right? Okay, it comes with all the screws. The cap for new members. For new members who don't know about the 2018 run, this is the one that started it all for me. Well, actually the Gen 1 started it all for me, but this is the one that was groundbreaking for me because Starkiller made it so much more accurate compared to the Gen 1. But here you can see the cup inside there for the PCB connector, and then this steel cup to hold the blade. If you want to lock the emitter, you just tighten these screws down here all the way, and it will pinch the emitter so it doesn't spin anymore. But the purpose of this exact V2 was to have an FXable lightsaber and maintain a spinning blade. Oh, the only thing I don't have in the picture is the FX plate, which I'll include in the picture. In the picture now. Again, excuse me for all the stuttering and rambling. This is going to be a real rough cut video. So I hand-picked a lot of the cone knobs that I use for my V2 builds. So this cone knob here is hand-picked by me out of the batch that I got and put in my own V2 bin. So I've upgraded the cone knob to a DS2 cone knob. This is a vintage D-ring that I got off a woman's pocketbook in, I believe it was an antique store. So I threw that on there right away so I didn't lose it. I didn't want to misplace it, so I threw that on there right away. This is the one that's actually on display behind my head when I sit on the couch. This is one of the extras that were on display on my couch. But that's the actual hilt. So for those who don't want it FX'd, it's got the milling circle. It's got the milling circle and a hole for the mystery chunk. It's a threaded hole because originally on this run, Starkiller had the mystery chunk thread in. We didn't know what the real mystery chunk was at the time. But for those who don't want the FX emitter and want it more like the actual prop today, I'm including a DS2 emitter, which realistically is the same exact thing as the FX emitter. It's the same exact thing except it's solid and constructed like the actual V2. So this, well, technically I guess you can FX this, but the emitter would never spin. This is, you thread it in and it locks in, whereas this emitter, she spins. So I'm including that in this this listing. I also have a vintage mystery chunk. Again, this is hand selected by me. I'm very fussy with the parts that I put on my commissions, so I only have like 5 of these left, and I grabbed the one that I liked and including that. And then I got a DS2 clamp here, which I'm going to throw in as well. So that is the first thing I have up for sale right now. So I just did a quick spinaroo. Maybe you can see the dings and scratches on the ring section, which you can actually, I'm telling you, just with your hand with some sandpaper it'll get rid of it, but I wouldn't get rid of it because it will sell it once you weather it. But inside there you can see there's plenty of room for electronics. Goth's got a beautiful chassis for it, and you can pick that up off his Shapeways store. So that's the first thing I have up for sale, and you can find the pricing for that in the description below. I'm going to clean this up and move on to the next one. This one really hurts to let go. This is a Rudy Pando V3. I believe this is his Generation 3 V3. He had small tweaks here and there, and I'm pretty sure this is Generation 3. This is the version that would be in the archives today. This is the version that went into space. I really overhauled this thing. I've given it a complete acid age. The ring section I have made notches in so it simulates the seam line on the V3 today. This section here I remachined because it was protruding up too high, so I remachined it to bring it down to a more accurate finish where it is on the prop today. This is a I believe it's a Roman props clamp, because Rudy, I think, teamed up with Roman for the clamps. And it's got the accurate holes. The clamp and clamp boxes are wrapped in Mylar tape, just like the real prop today, along with the emitter here. And one thing I want to mention about that is the seams, the seams of this tape is where it is on the prop today, as of right now. Whoops. So every seam is where it should be. So I've weathered the lever a little bit, scraped it down, aged that. The clamp card is made exactly how the real one was made. It's just a simple piece of brass with electrical tape roughly put on there. And one section is actually cut shorter and wrinkled compared to the others. So this is not an error, that's how it is on the prop. So that's that. Moving down, the booster. This is a Wanawanga D-ring that I got because the V3 has a very distinct D-ring, and this one here matches perfectly. There's all sorts of dings and dents that I have copied from wicked high-res photos that I was able to use. So all these scratches on the pommel, this is not random. This is all done intentional. The dents here. Oh, another thing too is, like, I always talk about how I put a centering plug in all my pommel cubes. Well, the V3, you should be able to see it fall out there. On display, you can see it hanging like that, and you can see the gap. So that is accurate to the prop as well. But all these little dings, dents, and scratches, that's not random. I've done that on purpose from reference. There's a milling circle on the V3 that nobody talks about. Well, actually, I don't know if that's public. That may not be public. So there's a milling circle on the V3. It's in a different location, it's at a different height, but I added that as well. This is what hurts the most. It's got a pop action crystal chamber by Rudy. All the greeblies have been acid aged and weathered. The crystal is his crystal, I believe he calls it a synthetic crystal. It was originally a piece of acrylic, and I've carved the hell out of it and made it my own. So we have that there, and then a 3D printed piece from Shapeways. This is not brass plated steel. This is brass. And to prove that, here's a magnet here. Now it seems like Shapeways plate steel in their 3D prints. This was bought many years ago. There's a video that somebody just bumped not too long ago. And that's when they were doing solid brass. So that's that. And it's got the spring built in, so she's got a pop mech there. Again, I had to remachine this to fit, and that's why this notch is there. That's the original mounting hole, and because I had to remove that much material, the notch is there. I moved the mounting hole there. So that's that. And it's always finicky to lock this back in place because you're spinning the same way as the thread unlocks. If Rudy did it the opposite way, oh my god, it'd make life so much easier to lock this thing up. But the pommel on this, I think this is what makes it a Gen 3, is the pommel unscrews. You can see the chamber inside there. So this is in FX mode now, but it does come with the solid clamp section. So if you delete your crystal chamber, if you don't want a crystal chamber in there, you can put this in there, and the chassis for the FX is far cheaper and far easier to install with this midsection in there. But you can't run Rudy's crystal chamber. And then I have there's some lint in here. I got this all out of storage. And then I have the FX 3/4, 7/8. I got the 7/8 FX blade cap. So this unscrews here. And I painted the inside too, because on the real prop, the inside is painted black. I got all sorts of weathering chips and nicks and dings where everything needs to be. Even like on the emitter here, the tape is folded over on it, so I went and did that. You can see all the weathering here on the wind vane. None of this is random. Nothing on this is random. It's all been copied from reference, a really nice reference. That really hurts to let go, but I am in a jam. I'm telling you right now, I am in a jam. This is even worse for me. This is worse. So this is my favorite Death Saber. I have a video on this that I made a long time ago, and how excited I was when we got the Death Saber reference. So this is Roman's Steel V2. This is his first generation. So it's all steel except the pommel. The pommel's aluminum. It's got I machined a nipple here, a different nipple. Again, this is like I took liberties with this because the blade's attached to it in the movie. But I added that. I machined the emitter down to the correct width, and included some weathering on the edges here with little dents here and there. Nothing serious. It's more like dings. You can see the weathering here underneath the emitter, and how the paint was falling off from his thumb. The wind vane has a distinct caramel color, a real goldish caramel color with overspray on the top, and the flat black here is all weathered with a rubber glove. It's got Roman props clamp, Roman props belt bubbles, Roman props transistors, but they're a little bit different. I use his washer here and flip it, and then I machine my own washer here to make this one stick up just a little bit higher, because that's how it is on the real prop. The booster is just painted black. The D-ring here is just a little funky. It's got a little twist on it, the D-ring, because the D-ring on the Death Saber looks like it's, I mean, you can barely, I'm saying it because I don't want you to think I installed it wrong, but that's done on purpose. I want that there on, I have it there on purpose. There's very light damage on a few of these pommel cubes, which I've done on purpose. So wicked light. But I have some like fingerprints on the thumb section here, like I have some fingerprints on the booster section here, and weathered that all with a rubber glove. then the pommels clean. You can see how I've aged this with some product to make it look like it's been on set. I don't want it to look brand new. So this also has the pop mech. The problem is with this one is it's all greeblied out. I got this one all greeblied out with all sorts of shapeway parts in there. I got the back radiator fins. I have this engine up here with a brass coupling inside there, and again Rudy's crystal that I've heavily modified, which I'm kind of proud of. I mean, you might think it's nothing, but you look at that and it actually looks like a crystal. So I even think these move. I can unscrew these, or at least I could at one time. But the chamber has all been chemically aged. All the greeblies have been chemically aged. The only thing is I was planning on FXing this, so the little brass greebly in there is not glued in because I wanted to put an LED in there, and I didn't know if that would screw up the installer. So if you shook this hard enough, that might fall out. So just keep that in mind. If you're not going to FX it, add a dab of E6000 or just a simple drop of super glue and you'll be good. But I'm leaving that free, so if you do install it, the installer, that doesn't get in the way of the install. But this has the Pop Mech 2. This is a much larger spring because it's steel, and I want it to open. So I actually had to cut the V3 one down because it was so violent. I was afraid somebody got hurt if they accidentally opened it. But this is by far the hardest one to let go for me. I'm telling you, a lot of people, you don't know how lucky you have it. This is where I say it's kind of difficult to, there we go, to lock it because the J-lock is in the same way. But again, I just want to show, this is, I think this is a Roman's D-ring, but it's super, super heavy. It weighs like, I think it weighs 3 pounds. Yeah. So, this is a 3mm screw that I drilled and tapped because I have a really hard time with 440 wrenches. And if it strips out, I can just go up the street and get a 440, 1.5mm Allen to replace it. So, inside there is the locking cup and everything for the, what's going on? Somebody's backing up. So yeah, I have to apologize. I did drill and tap this for a 3mm screw, so it's a 1.5 to take the blade plug out. Everything else on this is Imperial. So you would use. Never mind, I'm lying. The booster is 3mm too. I'm lying. The booster is a 3mm too. So you use a 1.5mm Allen. I gotta change this battery. Oh my god, I'm a mess. I was filming all that and the camera was crooked the whole time. Okay, so that's the Death Saber. Again, it's a Roman Props Gen 1 Steel V2. And that's that. Up next, I purchased this a wicked long time ago. I don't know much about it. This is the Jedi Killer. It's been sitting in a box, this box, ever since the purchase. The rest that I'm going to show you has been sitting in the box since I bought it. It's not been on display. I open it up, I make sure that nothing is broken, and then it went back in the box and on the shelf. So everything I show you from here on out has been opened once. So here's the Jedi Killer. It comes with a plaque. This is number 99 out of 100. Damn it. He's got, it looks like some tack buttons here, I imagine, for the switches. It comes with an Allen wrench. And I don't know why, but it came with a coin. Here is the Jedi Killer here. It's got a crystal chamber built in there. I've done nothing to this thing. It's just been collecting, literally collecting dust But all these parts come on, clip on with magnets or pins. So the only thing that I did do was I installed these clips to hold the wire. Oh, there goes the table again. That's the only thing I did do, was install the clips. And this one's super, super loose. He did include an extra one though. So that one's super, super loose. Be careful with that one. But again, I don't know much about this. I purchased this a wicked long time ago. This is the concept one for Kylo Ren. I was, when Episode 7 came out, I was on a huge, huge Star Wars kick, and I was grabbing everything that was being made. And when the concept art leaked for Kylo Ren's lightsaber, I fell in love with this thing, and he did the first run, so I jumped on that. This was kind of expensive for back in the day too. But and there's an extra clip here that he supplies, because this one is pretty shady. If I were to do it again, I would super glue it in there. But my whole thought process is, if I'm going to install this or have someone install it, I don't want anything permanently attached so it doesn't screw them on the install. So this one's rather dusty. I have to hit it with the blower. Got the beautiful, beautiful machining. But a lot of little pieces to this thing. And again, it's been sitting in this box since I bought it. Oh, I glued the magnets on and put the magnets on there. But that's about it. So I got Phoenix Props, the light. This is his first generation. I know he's made a couple of these runs, or other people have made it for him or whatever. But I've never put this together. Here's a bunch of greeblies. Again, I've opened this once, looked, made sure everything was there, nothing was broken, and put it all back in the box. Oh my god, look at this, more stuff. More greeblies, the buttons. This is actually a beautiful, covered in dust. How is this dust getting here when everything is sealed? That does not make any sense to me. If you look, this thing is covered in dust. And it's been out of the box once. I'm not lying about that. So I kind of have a sentimental attachment. Here's some buttons. I don't know if I can sell this. Shit. I don't know if I'm going to sell it. I'm going to make this video, but I don't know if I can sell this. This may not be for sale by the time the video goes up, because I have a serious sentimental attachment to this character, and especially this version of him. So I don't know. I thought this was supposed to be red. Huh. I could be wrong. I don't know. But it's actually a really beautiful lightsaber. But like I said, you can see for yourself. This has been opened once, and all the parts are there. It just sucks, man. I gotta let this go. So that's up for grabs too. Again, these things have been sitting on my shelf for years. They're not doing me any good sitting there. So next up is the Princess by KR. This is the first run. I don't know if he did another run, but it comes with some extra mother of pearl. I know he had problems with people installing them and them cracking, so I was lucky enough. I don't know how that worked, but mine came with it installed already. So this is his, again, opened, looked at, put back. Wicked shiny, wicked pretty, wicked jewel. This is like a jewelry lightsaber. Wicked, wicked pretty. Comes with everything still in the bags. The belt clip for Rey. I think this is all looks like button setup stuff. Everything is here. The FX cup. I guess this is an FX emitter. I guess for 1-inch blade. I don't know. Maybe this is a blade plug. like I said, I don't know why. I don't know why it came with 2 emitters. And you can tell I never even opened this. Oh, no, there's screw holes in that one. I don't know why. But it has an extra emitter with it. But you can see there's not a single scratch on this sucker. Super, super light. Super, super light. And Princess by KR. This is the very first generation. First one. Sticking with the KR theme. I got his crossguard here. This is wicked tough to let go. This is his very first one, so this is his very first run. I don't know how many runs he did of these, but I jumped on the very first one. This was $502 to my door, and at the time that was the most expensive lightsaber I've ever purchased. It was $502 to my door. It has the blade plugs. Everything is here. The blade plugs, the anodized bottom cap, the power cables, red and blue, the tactical switch setup, all the greeblies, the 3D printed button, clear button, more screws, the wire holders. Come on, come on. More screws. I've done a few of these commissions and there's a lot of parts to it. And then the engine. This was his Gen 1, so the 3D printed parts rejected the plating on it, which I've seen other projects reject plating as well. So these are, he cleaned them up and sent them to me like this. I didn't ask for them to be cleaned up, but he did it on his own. He cleaned them up and sent me my stuff clean. So the ones that I were commissioned to do, and I've done like three or four of them, I think. Some of them came with plating, but they was all flaked off, and some of them didn't. I just removed the plating and spray painted them with a chrome finish, and then weathered them, and that's it. But you can see, surprisingly enough, this must be some high quality steel, because the quillions haven't rusted. And everything else around here rusts. So, to be honest with you, to be God's honest truth, to be honest with you, I check this regularly just to make sure they don't rust. I'm wondering if it's like a titanium or something. Because, well, no, it's probably not titanium. But I know in my bicycle chains and bike parts, I use titanium, and that doesn't rust. Because anything around here rusts right away. Anything in my neighborhood. The ocean's right down the street. You can see it from here. So that's that. That's my... I think that's everything. So I got this all up for sale. If you're interested, please feel free to message me on the RPF. So that's going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. Keep an eye out for the next video. And most importantly, be kind to one another. This is Haloax, out.